Hi guys, if you want to get some muscles, then watch today's recipes because I'm going to show you how to make a lentil soup. Did you know that lentils are high in protein and that helps your muscle mass? But also they're low in the bad carbohydrates, which is what everyone wants today, right? So I'm going to show you how to take these little tiny legumes and make them with some big, bold flavor, and it's going to be delicious. Lentils are actually from the Mediterranean area from years and years past. And now we've gotten implemented them into our cooking over here, and they're really super good. So today we're going to be making a chicken mushroom lentil soup. Super healthy and delicious for us. I am going to, however, take this loaf of bread that I have, and I'm putting it, we're going to make a bread bowl out of it. So I have my oven heated to 400. I wrapped it up in a little bit of aluminum foil, and I'm going to just stick this in the oven while we prepare the soup. This way it gets warmed through and it gets like a nice little crust on the outside of the bread. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the oven, and then we're actually going to get started on the soup. Now I already went ahead and made a pot yesterday. I always like to always try my stuff out first, like I said, and it came out so good. I'm excited about it. We have already served it at the restaurant, and it's actually in my new cookbook that's coming out, Home is Where the Apron Hangs. So if you're gonna love this recipe, you're gonna need the book. So let's get started. I have a big soup pot here, and I'm just turning it on to medium low right now, and I'm going to go ahead and put some olive oil around the bottom. That I always say, I like to start with like 2 or 3 tablespoons. And then I wanted to show you something first. Look what came out of my garden already. I've already gotten cucumbers. I've gotten a whole bunch of lettuce. I've had salads already. Today I went out and I just picked a few leaves of kale for today's video. And of course I've gotten my herbs out of there that we're going to be using. So it's already just May and I've gotten vegetables already. I'm super excited. We'll put these over there. Okay, so let me see. I see some people already, and I'm happy that you guys are joining me today. So now that I have this going, we're going to go ahead, and we always start every base of a soup with what they call a mirepoix. Like the mirepoix is the carrots, onions, and celery. We call it the Holy Trinity, or you could call it, sofrito in Latin cooking. Whatever you want to call it, the base of every soup is carrots, onions, and celery. So when they marry together, they make a wonderful flavoring for broth. Hi guys, hi Joan. I'm still jealous over that chicken coop you had, but I did get really nice chickens today. Okay. So I've got my pot heating, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in the onions. And I know it's lazy because I already bought an onion that was cut up, but I cut so many onions, guys, at the restaurant. When I can find a shortcut, I'm going to. So when hi Tracy, how are you? So when I find it like this, I use it. And that, when I measured it out, was like a half a cup of onion, or like 1 medium onion. Okay, and Pepe's already bothering me, so I'm going to throw some carrots down over there. And then we're going to go ahead, and I like to use the shredded ones. These are already cut and everything for you. So also a handful. One of my handfuls came out to be about a half a cup also. Will be equal to like maybe 2 carrots if you wanted to go ahead and cut them. Hi TJ, how are you doing? I hope things are well at the restaurant for you. I'm sorry I'm not putting any bacon in here today. Hi Teresa, I love it. So happy to see everybody. Okay, so he does not eat celery. The pig does not eat celery, so I can't throw that down. But we will be throwing down some carrots for him today. He loves them. There you go. I've got my carrots and onions in the in here with a little bit of olive oil around. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put my celery in there. It's gonna kind of dice them small. I didn't realize how long celery took to cook until I started making soups. And everything would be done, and I would go to taste my celery, and it would still be hard. And I'm like, wow, the celery takes a while. So, hi guys, I love that I can see. Nanette, how are you, Nanette? I hope you had a good Mother's Day. Okay, so we're gonna just dice up this celery and throw this in. So we have all of our bottom base of the soup finished, which was carrots, onions, and celery. And then this soup does not take long to prepare. However, it does take a little bit long to cook. That's why I went ahead yesterday and I made one for you guys already. And I have used this soup at the restaurant as well. A lot of people like it, but usually when you hear lentil soup, you think of like vegetables with lentil, or you think of sausage with lentil. But this time I said, you know what? It's summertime. It's getting warm here in South Carolina. I need some summer soups. So I changed it up and I served chicken with it, and I put some mushrooms in it. And we use a light vegetable stock with it. And I'm telling you guys, it came out great. So now I'm also taking a shortcut, and I'm going to tell you, I am using a rotisserie chicken. If you were to have chicken breasts in the refrigerator and you wanted to use them, or chicken thighs, or whatever chicken you had, now would be the time to put them in, because you want them to brown up, you know, and cook with your vegetables. So if you had chicken breast, you would dice them up and put them in and cook them until they're no longer pink. You would cook them through. If you had the chicken on the bone, like a chicken thigh, you could put that in, and once we get the broth and everything in, you could keep them going in there and simmer, but then you just have to take them out and pull them off the bone. That's why I do the rotisserie chicken. Simple. It's already cooked. We can put it in last and it'll be all done. We don't have to wait for it to cook. So while the carrots, the onions, and celery are cooking here, and I just already love the smell of it, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna just kind of put some herbs in here. And this is a rosemary and this is thyme, and I got them both out of my garden. Just walked right out and got them. Okay, so we're gonna put that down, and we're gonna put the thyme. The thyme has like a little bit of a lemony flavor to it, and the rosemary has like that woodsy flavor that you always think of when you think of poultry. So, Peppy, I have a piece of celery that's on the ground, but he don't like it, so. Okay, so I'm just dicing these up really tiny, especially the rosemary, because it kind of reminds me of pine needles, and they can be a little sharp if you keep them whole and leave them in a soup. They may not have, especially if they don't have time to cook down all the way. Rosemary can be kind of hard. Okay, Pep, over here. There, as long as you feed him, he's happy. So he discovered the garden the other day, and I have 18 eggplants out there, and he found one of them. So he only got the leaves though, thank God. Okay, so we've added our herbs in here, and now we're gonna add salt and pepper, because I always tell you guys, anytime you add salt to vegetables, they sweat, and so they cook a little bit faster. It brings out all their natural juices. They caramelize in there, and they're just so much better. And plus, it's better to salt every layer as you go, your flavor every layer. Okay, salt and pepper is done. We're not going to need any more salt because we're going to be using a chicken stock, not from that chicken. We're going to be using one, like, you know, from the store, stock in a box, and we use the low sodium one. There we go. So that's all done. Now they're getting softer, and we're going to put in now the mushrooms. Okay, so these mushrooms are ones that, you know, of course you buy in the store again. And I use like baby bellas, so they're baby portobellas. And hi Kim, how are you? And Monica, I see everybody. I see, hi Blair, how are you? It's nice that I can see this way. When I had the camera this way, I have a really hard time saying I have contacts, but I'm still blind. Okay, I don't get it. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dump my mushrooms in here. Sometimes they're not cut like all the way even, you know, like this one. I mean, what's up with this? This is like half of a mushroom here. So I'm just gonna go through and I'm just like kind of breaking them up a little bit, because you don't want a huge piece of mushroom in your soup bowl here. Okay, and a good thing also, if you wanted to, at this point, you could have added in a little bit of white wine to deglaze the pan and take off all those bits on the bottom because they're full of flavor. And now we have all of our vegetables sauteing up here. And we just stick our mushrooms in. When I tell you this is a really easy super soup, but it is also eats like a meal because we're going to put it in a bread bowl. Okay. We're going to let that go until it gets softened. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put in this chicken stock. So this is vegetable. This is 8 cups of vegetable stock that I got. Low sodium because, you know, they can be really salty. So I'm just going to go ahead and pour this in. And it was warm. I try to keep it, you know, warm so it doesn't stop the cooking process, but it doesn't matter what you do, it's still going to. Okay, so now we're going to combine all this together, and it looks good already, right? And then we're going to add our cup of lentils. So here's the lentils. I never liked lentils as a kid. I hated them, just like I hated split peas. But now I really like them. I love them and everything. Goes in the lentils. That's just 1 cup of lentils. When you get them in a bag, there's way more than that. And so we're going to let this go at this point, and we're going to let this cook for 20 minutes. 20 minutes, because that's the time that the celery and the carrots and everything will be soft, and the lentils will start to take in all the liquid, and they also become soft. They won't be done yet, but they'll be a little bit like al dente with the pasta. And then after 20 minutes, say it's 20 minutes, you go ahead and you take your chicken on the bone here, which is your rotisserie chicken. We're not going to put the skin in. We're going to take it off. And then we go ahead and we put in, here Grace, I had to give the dog something. The pig gets everything and she gets nothing. Okay, then you go ahead and you take this chicken and you put this in there. Now you might say, well, why didn't we just put it in before the 20 minutes? Because this is already cooked. So this is gonna break down real far, and we don't want mushy chicken. Do you ever see a rotisserie chicken when you like keep it in boiling water or like a hot mix for a while? It just gets really, I'm going to use the leg. I'm going to use all pieces as meat. For this first pot, I use the entire chicken. So I'm going to have to boil this now, like simmer it low because we're putting the chicken in. But if I was to put this in when we first started, it would get mushy. I've done it. I'm thinking now, oh, 1 pot, you know, 1 time. And we're going to use the other leg here. We're using white and dark because it's soup. So we want all that flavor. Rotisserie chickens are like the best thing that's ever made, but my daughter actually told me they're not all that healthy for you. So I'm not really sure. Is this a bone? No. Okay, be careful you don't get any of the bones in there. And then we're going to get this thigh. Look at all that skin. People are probably like, oh my God, give me the skin. I know, I like the skin, but we don't need it in the soup. So what's great about this now is that I can use this whole chicken carcass here to make more stock. So you actually get more use out of this rotisserie here. And all these big pieces are going in here. Okay, so you get the idea. So we have everything in here now. I'm going to try to bring this a little bit closer to show you guys what it looks like. So we have the mushrooms in there, the chicken, carrots, onions, celery, and the stock. It's super delicious. So you cook that for a while. We put the rest of the chicken in. And now I like to put green in mine because you know what? Like, I'm the type of person, like, I like color. I like color and I like texture. So I just went out and picked this kale right off of my right out of my garden, but I'm just going to kind of give it a rough chop because the stalks of it can be a little bit fibrous, so they can be a little bit tough if you don't cook it for a while. But the leaves, they I'm like that here Peppy. The leaves cook really fast, just like spinach. So we're going to throw this in. So we have everything in here. We have all of our vegetables, our stock, and it looks like a liquidy soup. So you put the cover on it now and you let it go for 20 minutes, right? And I'm going to show you what it looks like now that I'm going to get that bread out of the oven that we had. Watch out, Pep. Okay, turn that off. Now this is the bread that I put in the beginning. And I wrapped it in tin foil because I just wanted it to I didn't want it to get too hard. Oh, it's so nice and soft. We're gonna make a bread bowl, guys, and it's gonna be delicious. It is super hot too. Okay, so now in order to make a bread bowl, what we have to do is we have to cut the center out of this. And I wanted mine hot because, I don't want to put warm soup into a cold bread bowl. And be careful because this pan is hot. You don't want to burn yourself. But we just want to cut a circle around to take this top off. And, I always wanted to do this at the restaurant. I always wanted to serve my soup in a bread bowl. And I'm like, how can I give everybody a bread bowl? So I'm working on it. I'm thinking, well, maybe I can give everybody like a roll and cut it out and put the soup in there. I'm working on it, guys. So, okay, so we take the center out, and we can use this after. We cut out the hole here in our bread. And now I'm going to take this soup. Where's my ladle? And I'm going to show you this one now. Let me show you this one. Is a lot thicker than that because it's had time to cook down. So it's almost like a stew. Almost like a stew. We'll move him over. Turn this off. Put that one on. Cook this one. Now we're going to have 2 big pots of soup. Last night my husband said, oh, I really enjoyed the soup you made. I said, that was for my video. But he loved it. So, okay, here we go. We're going to ladle some of this soup out and put it right in the bread bowl here. Like I said, look how thick it is. It's definitely like a soup now, or stew. So all the healthiness that we just did with the soup is now in a big thick piece of bread. So I don't know. Oh my goodness. Okay, and on the last thing that I want to do for this, here, Peppy, there's some carrots. The last thing I want to do now is I just want to sprinkle on a little bit of, this is Pecorino Romano, because it's got, like, I love it. It's got that salty bite, and a little bit of olive oil on the top, and your soup is ready to go. Now let me show you this, guys. It is such a delicious, this is a meal. This is more than soup. You serve this, you don't have to serve anything else. Hi, Al. I'll see you later. Look, guys, lentil soup in a bread bowl. It doesn't get any better than this. Look at it steaming hot. So I'm going to try it. I have all the lentils on there. All of these have cooked down and married really well. It's hot as heck. But oh, so good. And you know what? It's a light soup for the summer. So get out there, get yourself a rotisserie chicken, get a loaf of bread, and make yourself some lentil soup in a soup bowl. I'm gonna eat this all for lunch. You guys have a great weekend, and I will post a recipe, but you know what? The recipe is actually gonna be, it's already in my new cookbook, Home is Where the Apron Hangs. Coming out in July, so make sure you pre-order on our website, www.keepingupwiththemeatcheese.com, and then you can get your copy of the cookbook reserved for you. And this recipe and all the ones that I've been doing lately on the videos are going to be in the book. So when you buy it, we can cook together. You guys have a great weekend. See you later.